Hey everybody, welcome to Package. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
And I'm Ben.
Today I thought we'd talk about Superman, the Earth Stealers, because Action Comics 1000 is coming right round the corner.
Oh.
And we're at New York Comic Con 2017. As you can see from our backdrop, or we're in a place in my studio, and I stole this from New York Comic Con last year.
Or it's just a green screen.
You never know. We're really here.
No, we're there, though.
They
No,
just
we
made
are
an
there,
announcement that they have some plans for Action Comics 1000, and it got me
Okay.
thinking about Superman, and I picked up this. This is one of the first prestige, mini graphic novellas that DC made in the post-crisis continuity.
Prestige?
Yeah, but it's just a word they use to, trump up the fact that it's a book that's done in one, but it's got that nice firm binding.
Are you sure it didn't get through all its levels and then prestige and then go back to
Right.
level one?
Yeah,
Nor
to
is it
re-level?
the end of a magic trick.
Wow 'em.
So when it was published, it was in this form. It was
Yes,
this book.
this is it, and this is from 1988.
I'll say this is the original.
Yes, yeah, I saw this in a thrift store. It was a comic book store in a thrift town in New Hope, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And I was like, what? And I picked it up and read it, and holy damn. So
Tell me it was $1 because the cover price
was
is only
$1.
$3. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
it was $1 or maybe 50 cents. It was really cheap. But Superman the Earth Stealers was from 1988. It's 2 years after Superman's whole origin gets rebooted after Crisis in 1986.
Right.
John Byrne was brought in from Marvel to kind of reboot and reinvigorate Superman and bring him kind of into the forefront of the modern age.
Okay.
And he completely redid his origin. He threw away the Superboy stuff, the idea being that, when Clark was a kid, he had superpowers and, whatever. He had, and then one day he put on a super costume and he was a little boy, Superboy, blah, blah, blah. And John Byrne's like, nah, his powers manifested when he was an adult.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which is kind of an upset, but
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
yeah, and I'm sure Superboy fans from 30 years before that, so 70 years ago, were like, what the crap is happening?
But I love my Superboy.
Yeah, what about Superboy? And they're like, well, those never happened at the end. And people just shut up about it instead of going to Twitter and freaking out. They just went oh, well, I guess I just got to take it. And they didn't. They just wrote letters. Burns brought in to kind of modernize Superman, and he's actually the guy who was so Lex Luthor's a mad scientist who hates Superman because Superman made him bald. And then one day he makes a power suit and tries to punch Superman because he's just a regular guy. That sucks. That's boring. What if he was Donald Trump? And 1986 terms. I don't mean what if he was
Right
president? That would be 2000 terms when Lex Luthor became president.
Right.
No, but Lex Luthor was what if he was a business mogul because capitalism is evil and the real villains are the guys who are in high rises behind desks. They're not putting on power suits and punching people. Their power suits are $6,000 Armanis.
Right.
Or
With
Gucci's.
shoulder blades and shit.
That's for
Another
women.
Armani.
But yeah,
Or
and so,
men with small shoulders.
this is true. So yeah,
That makes sense, too, because it's another way that he can fight Superman.
Yes.
It's with his money and his power.
Exactly.
It's a different kind of threat.
And
I
it
thought
makes-
he always had money and power.
if he did, he stole it, or he
Okay.
built it, or he genetically engineered it. But then in the 80s, they're like, hey, that's where the real power is, and it also makes it a villain for Superman to fight on an intellectual level instead of on a man-to-man punching level.
Right.
Yeah, because Superman's going to win on that.
Yes.
Every time.
No question, unless Lex gets some kryptonite, which of course he always did. Lex is not in this story, so I don't know why I'm talking about him
I
so
was
much.
just going to say, why the hell are you going
Well,
off
he
on the
was
stage about
describing
Lex?
one of the
Well, I'm
changes
setting
that
I'm setting
occurred.
the stage because what's funny is they're we're doing a modern Superman, where it's still kind of the same shit, but it's we'll also put some sex in it, and some drug use maybe, unless the Comics Code's upset with that. Are you guys upset with that?
Yeah, we're upset with that.
Okay, yeah, we're not going to do that. Let Spider-Man do that. 20 years before this. So, Earth Stealers is this done-in-one graphic novella. I think the idea was hey, we're trying new stuff. Here's this thing. There's actually a rumor that this was supposed to be a pitch for Superman 5, and then after Quest for Peace, they nixed it.
I mean, they nixed
No.
all the Superman movies up there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But no, apparently it was just John Byrne wanted to do this horrible Superman story that totally sucks and it's weird.
I guess it's about aliens?
It's about aliens.
Okay.
That would make sense.
Yeah. The story opens on first of all it's the world outside your window. It's modern Superman. So on the moon base that was built with people living on them.
Oh.
Moon Base 1. as if to say that's the first
That
of
there
many.
are
There's
more.
many moon bases.
Or
yeah.
this is the first and they're planning on more.
Yeah.
But there's this, it's funny because it's very like alien, where it's
Okay.
like, it's this very
makes sense.
diverse spectrum of people who all live on this shitty, clunky, claustrophobic death box.
That
Because,
guy's got a beard.
of course, he has a beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like a glamorous, like white everything.
It is not.
hallway.
It
It's,
is
like,
it is
industrial.
clunky and,
Yeah.
and messy and gross.
Who's the android?
Yeah, right. There's
right.
no Android. It's just you know.
They didn't,
That's
they
what
didn't
you
take
think.
it that far.
Yeah. Well, if there is, they factor in no way because the idea is simply that they are having some technical issues because like they all do because they're in space.
Right.
And then they're taking pictures, they're taking long range images, and then they see like what seems to be like a rip in space, and they're like, "What's that? Why we meet these people and what role they play?" It's they literally show up one more time and then that's it. So like, we're not gonna.
So Superman
gonna
doesn't
see him
save
anymore.
them?
They save him.
Oh.
It's kind of nice. So Superman's flying around, and he's in a weird place because the Daily Planet is directly competing with television news.
Oh, wow.
So that's
okay.
the real problem that's happening for the Daily Planet. And
So it's
Superman,
like now they're competing with internet news.
yes.
This time it was TV.
yeah, which is kind of funny
It's a
actually
quaint
that they
and
were like
hilarious concept.
that the newspaper was worried about television, and now the newspaper is worried about the internet. It's like, hey, you know what the constant is? The
Your
freaking
newspapers,
newspaper.
yeah,
Like
it survived.
maybe they are dinosaurs. Maybe it's just they're distinguished.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice.
But they just need to evolve and adapt.
Yes.
Oh, and you also need kindling for a fire.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, you're always going to need to house train your dog some way with some cheap paper. I'm not going to go into the printer and grab the paper there.
That's
that
expensive.
thing's $60 a ream.
It's also
Like,
not absorbent.
It's not as absorbent, exactly. But everything you know is the same. And what's weird is Superman and Lois are kind of on the outs. Number one, Lois doesn't know he's Superman, but she heavily suspects.
Really?
Yes, because they actually revealed during the retcon that Superman and Clark Kent were raised like in the same town / by the same type of people. So like, no, we grew up together. And
No, we're just good chums.
And Lois is talking to Perry White about it before Clark shows up, and she's like, "Really?
Clark,
Okay.
That's the flimsiest
That
story
doesn't
I've
make
ever heard."
any sense at all because once you suspect that they might be the same person,
Then you
All you have to
look at
know
his
that they're the
face.
same
You just have to
person.
imagine it. Be like, wait, what does he look like without his glass? Oh, he's Superman.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
Superman.
it's trying to remember a face of your childhood friend and then seeing their picture and being like, "That's their name." Like,
Yeah.
no. But then the thing that really like sets it home for her is, we've never seen Clark Kent and Superman in the same place at the same time. Not that like that Superman or Clark gave the flimsiest of excuses.
Not that they look like the same person.
I'm sorry, I was stuck in the elevator.
Yeah, again, Clark, again. We had a guy in the elevator this time. So Superman shows up right upon the time when Lois and Perry are like, "You don't suspect, you couldn't possibly mean, does that mean that Superman is actual?" And then Clark's like, "Hey guys," and they're like, "Oh, never mind, I forgot all about that. Let's move on." And so
Well, I mean, if he is, then he heard this entire conversation anyway.
Right.
that's true. There's this ridiculous hole in space that Superman can see.
Like a
and-
black hole.
More like a window, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a black hole.
It does. So Superman, Clark goes like, "Well, I'm glad I just arrived, but now I have to leave." And then he dresses like Superman and leaves. And he goes into the hole and he finds this gigantic spaceship. It's like if somebody took the Death Star and just went
And just
It's
stretched
like
it
a
into
cylinder.
a capsule.
into a
Yeah.
cylinder. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Superman goes to investigate it and he's checking it out. And the moon base is also able to see Superman. And they saw they're like, "The Superman, oh, I hope he's able to solve this problem." And you're like, "Yeah, I hope so. I don't know if he's gonna make it this time." So
We're a peaceful alien species that we just wanted to communicate. Oh God, why are you attacking our ship?
no, Superman's not attacking it. He's just investigating.
Yeah.
So he's floating around and he's like, "I don't see any windows or any people, and no one's trying to communicate with me." And then these big spires shoot up and blast a bolt of energy at him and just fire him.
Oh, wow.
And they don't hurt him or shoot a hole through him or anything. They just kind of repel
They
him.
just push him.
Yeah, and he gets pushed into the moon, and he is rendered unconscious. And the moon base guy's like, "Oh no, Superman's unconscious on the surface of the moon. We've got to go get him." So they get on their spacesuits and they drag him in, and they help him out. And while that's happening, he meets the team, and they're all like, "Look, Superman, look through our special engines. and photographic lenses. Like, what's happening? And Superman's like, yeah, cool, thanks. Then he leaves, and we never see those characters again. So
This I gotta say, this probe thing or this ship looks like the probe in Star Trek 4.
I guarantee you it is. It's 1988.
Do they ask for like whales?
The probe is actually like a space tugboat
Oh.
that steals the Earth and the Moon.
Wait,
It takes them.
and the moon?
Yes, so that the Moon can stay in orbit and everything.
Oh.
Why?
Why indeed? Why would
Well,
some
'cause it
giant
has-
space cylinder steal the Earth and the
'cause it has
Moon?
water
Oh, why the
and-
Moon? Or why both?
Why the moon?
Oh.
Like, I get you want to steal the Earth. That's fine. There's people there.
There's
plant
resources,
life.
there's-
There's stuff. The moon is just the goddamn moon.
It's just a rock.
There's resources on the moon though. There's like metals and so forth. Like you can mine it.
You can, yes.
Well, we'll see. We'll answer this debate when we find out why they steal the Earth and the Moon. First, we meet the Grand Lord Captain, whose name is irrelevant, and he is captain of this ship. And
I'm looking at these aliens and I'm just like, oh, this is not gonna be fun.
no, it's not,
They look
because they're so
stupid.
lame. Yeah,
I'm sorry, lame. This alien, I'm assuming the captain,
yeah.
Has-
Lord Captain.
has an 1800s like handlebar mustache that goes into his sideburns.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's certainly a design that wasn't stolen from us.
No, he's
That's
never been
original.
here. He doesn't know the Earthlings.
No,
but-
I'm just saying like that's original.
Oh yeah, well he sucks. So it's great because Superman leaves the moon base. He goes to try and like stop the probe from pulling the Earth and the Moon through this rift.
Well, how
and
does it pull them?
how does it pull them?
Yeah.
With like what seemingly look like a tractor.
Like a
beam.
tractor beam? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So Superman tries to pull it, but he can't. And that's what's so funny is that for the first I want to say 50 years of Superman was as strong as the editors wanted him to be.
Right.
He could
'Cause
push
needed to be
moons
to
out of
fix
orbit.
The problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then in the
But
80s,
now he can't.
they had to like reduce his power level. But John Byrne completely forgets about that, and he's like, so he's able to do impossible feats that he later can never do in this book. And we're 2 years into his new continuity, so it's like really weirdly confusing.
Yeah.
And also, what's weird is like Jerry Ordway is like the artist on the book, or at least he should have been. But Kurt Swan was the artist on Superman before they made the switch into like more modern stuff. And so Kurt Swan basically gets the penciling duties on this book because John Byrne felt bad for him and wanted him to have one more Superman
So it
book.
looks totally different.
So it looks well. Then
Than
Jerry Ordway comes in and then pencils over Swan's pencils.
Oh wow.
And so like everything looks really weird.
No.
Yeah, he's like, well, let's just change that up a little bit. And so it's just a weird looking book, and it's a weird feeling book because it feels like a Silver Age, like oh, I'm Superman and I've got cereals on TV that children are eating cereal to. Like, no, this is supposed to be modern Superman, but it's also like a classic dumbass like old school adventure.
Well, the aliens are totally goofy looking.
And and that's what really like ruins it. So
And it's a dumb plot.
the plot is that this cool, long, big, crazy ship belonged to an ancient race of aliens that no longer exist. And these guys, or rather the Lord Captain guy, he has like a ragtag like team of other aliens from different civilizations and whatnot, and they make up his crew. And it's not like it's like a plucky band of like 8 guys. It's like thousands of people, or not. Who knows? And who cares?
You only ever see like 10 of them.
Yeah, but the Lord Captain, he pilots the ship, and he basically like co-opted it, and what he uses it for is stealing planets and then bringing them to this great big world engine thing in like the middle of space in a faraway planet or faraway quadrant. There is no planet.
Right.
And it mines the planets and then destroys them and converts them into energy that they can then store and use.
Okay.
And this guy is basically just like a pirate who steals planets and then basically like sells them to this ancient to these other aliens over here that can like destroy planets and convert them into energy that they use to survive.
Okay. So
And they
he's
decided
like
to steal
he's a
the
contractor.
Earth.
He's a contractor. And he's stealing the Earth because the Earth is full of life, and once you convert it into like dust, it will have all this energy on it that they can convert.
All right, so the
And by the way,
life factors, because I was thinking like, just grab Mars or
Right.
Jupiter or something. Jupiter's massive.
Yeah, but
you get so much energy from that.
It's true, but this guy is an idiot, and Superman would not work nearly as hard to save Jupiter.
Yeah. But that wouldn't be an interesting book.
Yeah, Superman saving Jupiter is like, why am I even reading this?
Like Jupiter's actually very important in the solar system.
It is important to the solar
Protects us
system
from comets and asteroids.
Yeah,
and
but
so
if you're
forth.
reading this and you're reading this for a Superman story, you're like, I don't give a shit. I barely give a shit right now.
If they
And in
just stole
fact,
the moon, I wouldn't care.
You could tell that like Byrne kind of loses steam halfway through, so he tries to like up the ante. So Superman is waylaid by another one of those like knockout beams, and like and he's like, I'm not going to get anywhere by just flying outside the ship. I need to let them take me. So the drones or like octopi things like grab him, and he's like, I'll let them take me and bring me before their leader. So they do.
Or I'll just punch a hole right through their hull and then break their technology and put the Earth back.
He should be. Well, but the problem is,
he just saw the ship in half with his laser eyes.
Because this ship moved here. This ship moved the Earth and Moon out of orbit.
So it's stronger than him.
Well, how is he going to put it back?
Exactly.
Oh, he needs the ship. Okay.
Yeah, like.
Oh, so he's gonna have to like reason with them.
Yeah, but how are even they gonna put it back?
Well, because they're able to. So
how is everyone not dead from like? Not
there's a force field around it.
Oh, so they're providing energy to the Earth, like to keep it from freezing.
No.
Well, they don't explain it, but they do. They go far enough to say
it's a hand wavy thing.
They go far enough to say that like there's no sun, but they can kind of see because like there's this energy around it. Like everything's kind of blue. So.
All right.
Oh, and I think everyone on the planet's also in stasis or something.
Oh, so they don't even really notice.
No.
Okay.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Oh, yes. So then Superman is brought before the Lord Captain, and the Lord Captain's like, "Oh, who are you?" And he's like, "I'm Superman. I'm Earth's protector." He's like, "I've never heard of neither Earth nor Superman. Tell me more." And then he goes, you know what? Screw that. I'm gonna get the alien from the new Star Wars movie that like grabs your face and like reads your mind and shit." Which, by the way, like this is.
What is it? Pugalis?
I don't know what the name of it. It's the thing from Rogue One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or whatever.
I don't know.
Gunthar will tell us.
But 30 years before that happened, this guy's here, and he taps into Superman, and he like learns about Superman's like greatest
his
friends and his enemies and stuff. That's his mom.
Oh.
In the new origin for Superman, that's what Kryptonians look like. His mom and dad, Jor-El and Lar-El.
Who's this?
That's Metallo.
Oh.
Because it's only been 2 years. Only a few of his villains have been introduced.
Right.
So it's Lex Luthor and Metallo.
I like that Batman's on the villain side.
He's just there. But he is a villain a little bit, because when Superman and Batman first meet in the new post-crisis continuity, Batman is a vigilante that Superman's like, "You're a crazy person."
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. It's a really cool story. Maybe we'll do it someday.
Cool.
So he finds out who they are, and then this fat jackass then uses his technology to steal Jimmy, Lois, and Perry, who are the three most important people in his life, who aren't named his parents on the farm.
Yeah, why?
Why them? Because he's thinking about them probably at that point.
Because we already saw them earlier in the story.
Also, in the continuity, Superman and Lois are kind of on the outs because Superman kind of made out with Wonder Woman.
Really?
And so Lois has
Lois
a boyfriend.
know that?
Yes, she does.
Oh.
And she's like, I don't know about this. And she's piecing together maybe he's Clark Kent.
I was gonna say she's got a boyfriend. His name's Clark Kent.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. But no, there actually is
like
a there is a dude, and Lois forgets about him in a little bit. So they're stolen and they're put into stasis pods. And then Superman's like, screw this. And so he starts flying around the ship. Like, they put him in prison first, and he's like, I don't have to stay here. Like, I could leave.
Right.
And so the guards check on him, and then he kicks their ass and starts flying around the ship. But he also knows that he can't, like, stop the Lord Captain, because he knows that he needs to figure out what this is all about. So he finally reveals, like, look out the window! And there is this giant Death Star, like...
It's a factory furnace.
Yeah, it's got a door that opens.
And there's just planets waiting on a conveyor belt, like, to be eaten and destroyed by this machine.
That's insane.
Yeah, and we're up next. It's basically the Omicronians.
Wow, that's kind of a cool sci-fi idea.
Like there's a world-destroying engine that converts planetary destruction into energy.
There was an episode of Star Trek about the Planet Destroyer that was a ship that went around and destroyed planets. But yeah, it was like a robotic ship that had been built like a million years ago or whatever.
Okay.
And
now,
like its creators were long dead.
In order to convert these things into energy, Ethan.
Yeah.
Would that be a sun in there or a black hole?
I mean, it looks like it's a bunch of lasers shooting it. It's
really
hard to tell.
They come apart. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't tell what it's doing.
Yeah, how much energy would you need to annihilate a planet? I mean, it's like that's a Star Wars question. Any Star Wars fan will let us know what the energy output of your average Death Star would be, and you're good to go.
Well, I'm kind of wondering, like, it would make sense if there was like a small sun in there, because you just basically are feeding the fire at that point.
But at that point, wouldn't the Earth? I mean, if you throw the Earth into the sun, conceivably, if you could do that, you couldn't harness the energy from the Earth's destruction from that, because it would just be absorbed by the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're absorbing energy from the sun,
Well, yeah. If you
Imagine it was
created
like
the
a
sun,
fire.
if the sun is man-made and you
Yeah.
can and you own it and you could program it to absorb energy, then I guess that would work.
Well, it looks like they're not getting energy from the Earth, which is good because that doesn't make any sense. They're just literally getting the resources, minerals, metal. It says minerals,
Okay.
gases, even biological pulp. If there are life forms in the shadow, so they're just like mining.
Okay, so they're just mining
for stuff to like build things like this.
we mine it by blowing it the fuck up.
Yeah,
Well,
actually,
but they
that's
destroy it. And
they do explain that's how they get the resources to build planet-stealing ships that are as massive
Right.
as Lord Captain's and this anti-Death Star type thing.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense. You break it down to small pieces
Yeah.
and then use some process to like
Sort
separate it
out
into the
what
parts
is
you
Like
useful.
some
want.
bizarre centrifuge, I guess.
Like what we would do with like an ore. Like you mine an ore and it's got all kinds of stuff in there.
you
and
break it apart,
break
and then
it
you
apart,
sift it
and then
through
you
and-
use chemical or physical processes to extract whatever
Yeah.
you're looking for.
And these lines are just indicating the complex process that it probably is to sort them all down.
I mean, they've got
Yeah.
tractor beams. You get
Yeah,
a tractor
there's
beam
all
that's like,
kinds-
I'm just gonna get iron, and I'm just gonna get like.
That's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
they could be beams pulling. Actually, they couldn't be going at it. Maybe they once he goes in there, they explode, and then they pull the resources away from it.
Who
Yeah,
knows?
it doesn't
Anyway,
matter,
so
yeah.
Superman is like, "You're a fiend. This is obscene." And the guy's like, "I don't give a shit. I'm fucking get paid. Like I'm fat and stupid. I don't care." And the guy's amazing because he goes, well, "What would you like me to do? Do you want me to save your planet?" And he's like, "I would love that." He's like, "Well, I'm not going to." Like
Oh my God.
he's hilarious. He's like Jabba the Hutt, but like with less honor. Because this guy's like, you could do some like cool gladiatorial fight for me, and he's like, if I do that, will you save the planet? He's like, maybe. I just want you to do this.
Here's the thing: I get everything I want, so I don't know.
Exactly. So he's kind of like a believable dick,
Yep.
but it's also frustrating to read about because he's so stupid looking.
Uh-huh.
And his big red nose.
Because he's like drunk or something. I
yeah,
don't know.
he's drunk on
He's
power.
like spitting
Yeah, he's got
And
he's
booze.
spitting out like
Yeah.
green stuff.
and booze.
Well, he was biting this like green-looking donut before.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's just gross.
He's just gross.
He likes games though.
He does-
Fortunately for the Earth.
Yes, he does love games, and so Superman's like,
Oh, and they've got
"Fine."
cameras. Wonderful.
Oh yeah, no,
going
that's
to
what's
play
so
a
great.
game.
He's Jigsaw and Jabba the Hutt at the same time. So
And Mojo.
Jigsaw the Hutt, yeah, Mojo, yeah. So Superman is put into this expansive arena.
Yeah.
And by the way, he's also like, my crew needs entertainment, so he has all these like spy bots like who are gonna film it, and so then he debuts his greatest champion, Gunge.
Gunge.
This is Gunge.
Yep.
And Gunge is a generic large beast. And Superman's like, I'm not
Humanoid type beast.
Gonna... Yeah, he's just a big, stupid-looking He-Man
And thank
type
God,
character.
wearing underwear.
Thank God.
Superman's reaction upon seeing him is great. Scott.
That's what he says. That's Superman's like exclamation back then.
That's awesome.
Sometimes you say "Great Moons of Krypton." That's his by Odin's beard type of exclamation.
I see. As you can see from this holographic projection, your adopted planet is only a few quarterlons from the factory.
I don't know. If that means that a lot. Is that a
Is that a
little?
lot?
Or
How far
how
is
much
that?
time do we have? Do you measure time by distance? I don't understand. This is like that parsec thing from Star Wars. I can't parse
I don't know
it.
what that is. I don't know your nonsense language.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. All I know is I'm Superman.
Don't worry, you've got a couple of years. It takes a long while to destroy a planet.
Superman fights this Gunge, and he feels kind of bad for him because he's like, I don't want to fight this dude, but I
Yeah.
will, so he
Right.
does. And Gunge fights him in the most emasculating way possible because it's like, superheroes, they have capes, right? Fine.
Yes.
He grabs Superman's cape and like throws him over his shoulder. Superman like lands on his bottom. He's like, oh, you're just like, what is the point of this? You're trying to get more people to read Superman. What is the point of this? Hey, ta-da! Behold our prestige Superman book.
Isn't he great? Don't you just want to read more about
he's,
him?
So he's fighting Gunge, and then he goes, oh, I wouldn't fight too hard, Superman. Because Gunge's powers are derived from the energy of your three friends. So when you're fighting Gunge, you're hurting Lois, Jimmy, and Perry as well. And Superman's like, what?
All right. That's devious.
Yeah.
It is devious, but like, what?
Wait, so I'm fighting
How?
the powers of three humans?
Well, it's more
I
like-
should have defeated this guy in a second.
Yes, but if he kills Gunge, it'll kill his friends too.
Oh. So
yeah,
he's
their,
like tied
their
to
fate are
them?
tied to Gunge.
Oh.
So he's like, I have to let Gunge beat me.
Diabolical.
All right,
Yeah.
just choke him out, knock him unconscious.
Exactly. So then he
He's
goes,
offering him a terrible choice.
yes. So Superman's fighting Gunge, and then he reasons that the Lord Captain is a liar. So maybe he's lying about this.
Oh.
So then he defeats Gunge.
So he just kicks his ass with his heat
And
vision.
he is lying to Da.
Oh.
That's it.
And then so the Lord Captain goes, "Oh, you've seen through my devious lies. I'm bailing." So then he gets into his little pod. He tells his cronies to do the same, and they bail and set a self-destruct sequence for the fucking ship.
Well, I guess because they realize, like, oh, he's got heat vision. He can just melt us.
Yeah, he could beat
He's
us in a
super
second.
powerful. Let's get out of here.
He literally is playing possum just to find out everything, and then he found out I'm a dick, so I'm just gonna leave. So then they bail.
I'm gonna kill your friends though. No, I'm not.
I can't back that up. So then Superman goes and frees Lois, Jimmy, and Perry. Everyone else bails, and they go seek refuge amongst the planet destroyers, who are like, "What are you doing? You can't destroy that thing. That's your only means of transport and how we can get our planet, so we can keep destroying planets. Like, you just screwed everything, assholes." So like, you know that. By the way, you never get revenge on the Lord Captain. You don't see
He just
like
gets
what happens.
away?
They seek refuge with those planet destroying aliens, and they're
Yeah.
like, "We're fucked. You're gonna blow up our ship, which steals planets. So, and there's no planets around here because we keep blowing them up.
Right.
So like, we're gonna run out of resources, and it's all your fault. So we're gonna take it out in your ass." And then and he's like, "Hamana, hamana, hamana," and then you never see him again. So conceivably he died.
How many resources do they need to survive? Because you're blowing up like lots of
Oh,
planets.
I know, but
Yeah,
like, they're
well,
but
but
they're
they
also,
got a
like,
big ship
They're in a
that
big ship that's made of metal.
lot
You
of
can't
stuff.
live and eat in there. So that's it. Like they just.
I mean,
That's
I've gathered they don't have a sun, so they literally need like hydrogen
Constant energy
from these
output,
planets
yeah.
to like produce power. I
Yeah.
guess.
so Superman
It's time for them
rescues.
to grab a small star.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Just
But they
get it from a
can't
star
because-
from
because-
Jupiter, which is covered in hydrogen, which you could use for fusion. Like,
Yeah.
that's-
Well, they
Wait, a
can't
star or a
because
moon?
Jupiter. I'm saying, use
they
Jupiter.
couldn't even
use
use a star.
Jupiter.
Yeah,
They
it's
just take
covered
Jupiter.
in like gas that you can like generate fusion power from. Like, and it's
easy.
It's
Yeah.
like 100 million Earths worth of stuff. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, but Lord Captain can't do that because he's just sacrificed his only meal ticket. So
Right.
Superman rescues his friends, and then he makes them. He's like, "I assume that this thing is on autopilot," so then he puts Lois and Perry on like on flying duty.
Oh my
He's like,
God.
"We're gonna tow the Earth and the Moon back to where it belongs, and then I'm gonna push it, like
What?
because I don't know how to jumpstart the ship."
Oh.
So you guys are gonna I'm gonna give it a running start, and then you guys are gonna jump the engine while I push it
Why would it work that way?
because it needs to. So
There's also a self-destruct going on. Hey, I need you to defuse this bomb.
Yeah, they do that too.
I assume it works like an old car,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, it looks like an old jalopy in space. So then Perry and Jimmy do that. They're at the helm, and Lois worries. And it's because she's a woman.
Oh.
And so she's like, "Superman, you can't go out there and push it, like, because you'll die. It's crazy. You got to push us like trillions of miles or whatever." And also there's like all this energy shooting out of the back and like.
Bitch, I've been flying in space for years.
So Superman and Lois share a tender, possibly last kiss goodbye, even though they've acknowledged like they're both kind of seeing people and they're
Yeah.
kind of on the rocks, but like we're seeing their true colors. Like, no, Lois and Superman belong together.
Right.
And also, I drew over the last guy's drawing, so it looks really weird and awkward. So then Superman goes outside, he gives it the tow, and he's like, "I'm going to reason that the ship uses computers to figure out where the ship was, or where the Earth and Moon were when we took it, so that when we put it back, the computers will be able to put it back where it started." So
And they'll know that like that's what I want it to do.
Except
Yes.
time has also passed, so you have to put the Earth where it would have been when the time has passed.
No, it'll just be a different season.
So
or the
they
same
so they do put it back, and as it turns out, all of Earth was in stasis and shit. So like,
Right.
no one. So like,
No one even knows.
you know, everyone was like, "What the hell?" Oh, I guess it's nothing.
Okay,
And then
the
Lois-
Earth was in stasis, but the rest of the planets were not.
No, well,
No.
those guys died.
Okay, and I'm guessing that Superman also didn't stop the other planets
he
that
did
were in
not.
line to be destroyed.
No. Maybe he used his telescopic vision to check all the planets to make sure they weren't
There were no people on those
populated on them.
planets.
I mean, they're aliens, but there are no people, so I don't
Yeah.
care.
Well,
Yeah.
they're probably not sentient. They're like horses and stuff.
I mean, they're only like crude buildings. It's like a hut. Nah.
Yeah, that's a Class M planet. Fuck them. So Superman puts the Earth back, and then he's like, "This was an adventure that has a whole high level of fuckery. I don't think that the Earth will be able to handle it. So, like, Perry, could you never report on this story?" And Perry's like, "You've got it, Superman." Yeah. And he goes, "And Jimmy, you took pictures of the entire ordeal. Could you not show them?" And he's like, "Sure." And he goes, "I'll just make sure." And then he burns the film with his heat vision or whatever. And Jimmy's like, "Thanks, Superman. You're the best."
You're not terrifying in any way.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm just going to remind you that if I wanted to, I could kill you at any moment.
Or destroy your livelihood.
Doesn't even matter.
I could ruin you.
Anything.
I could ruin you in 1,000 ways. I'm Superman. And then they all go like...
Don't ever cross me, Jimmy.
And then they like leave the supply closet and they're like, you know what was convenient is Clark Kent wasn't there, and then Superman quickly changes to Clark Kent. He goes, "Hey guys, what's up? What did I miss?" And they're like, "Oh, Clark." And you're like,
hey, remember that conversation from the beginning of the book that you were having?
Yeah. Well, a lot happened. I have to process having been stolen by fat, stupid aliens and crap.
That's amazing. Do they wonder why they were chosen to be on the ship at any moment?
Yes. Lois, like, that adds further suspicion to my Clark might be Superman theory.
Yeah.
But then
I'd say that cinches it.
But then she immediately dismisses it.
Especially Perry.
Right?
Like I get Lois and Jimmy.
I get why he'd want me, why they'd pick me. Maybe Jimmy, because he's
Jimmy
Superman's
too.
best pal.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, Perry? No.
Is Superman best friends with Perry, too?
I mean, they're chummy.
Oh.
You know, but like, what?
Yeah.
It'd be amazing. And I guarantee you the reason why his parents weren't chosen is because what is Clark Kent's parents doing here?
Right? Yeah.
Like, this is at least
that would make it impossible. Yeah.
This is at least a little bit plausible.
Yep.
Superman the Earth Stealers is a weird one-shot story.
Star Trek episode.
It is not even like a good one.
No.
This
and
is
it's
like
short.
It's like a Troy-heavy episode with like a Worf subplot.
Yep.
So the people on the moon grabbed Superman, brought him back inside, and then nothing.
And then sat in their base and waited.
Well, they waited in Stacy's.
Yeah.
Yeah. While Superman went and solved the problem. There's an interesting bit here, a science bit, where Superman he reasons about the computer knowing how to. He also reasons that the beam that's like hitting the Earth is neutralizing the mass of the Earth, and that's
why it's able
the
to be
ship
pushed.
Pull it.
Yes.
Yeah. Which I was like, okay, well at least you addressed how this tiny ship, in comparison to the size of the Earth,
could pull whole planets.
Or then maybe it's bigger than the Earth. I can't actually tell. The scale is a little confusing.
It's massive, but like, I think it's smaller than the Earth.
Yeah, it looks like it's smaller than the Earth.
Yeah.
So
just like a tugboat is smaller than the thing it pulls.
Exactly.
Precisely.
But it's powerful.
We were just looking at a model on the floor of the con of the Nostromo, and how it's like, you think the Nostromo is like this massive thing, but it's actually just a tugboat that pulls the rest of the whole thing.
Yeah.
The thing that Ripley explodes at the end of Alien.
Yeah, the big dome stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Interestingly, it uses a similar mechanism to the way they move ships really fast in Mass Effect.
Really?
By like reducing, there's a Mass Effect field like reduces the effective mass of the ship, so that you can move it faster.
That's where that comes from.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it comes up multiple times in sci-fi.
But I mean, that's where it comes from for that game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mass Effect.
Yeah, the Mass Effect is that.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Superman
You said
the
that
Earth
like
Stealers.
that's great.
Yeah.
Oh,
Great.
Nice.
Flip.
Nerd!
All you Mass Effect fans out there.
Yeah.
It's a good game.
It's a very popular game. They made 3 of them.
Yeah. Before Andromeda.
Oh.
It's the new one.
They made
Is it out yet?
3 of them.
Yeah.
I heard it was good, I think.
I don't know. I've heard a lot of people say that Andromeda sucks.
Oh, really?
But like, in passing, like,
Right.
is Andromeda good? Oh, they ruined this, they ruined that. But like, I've never played any of the games, so I have no investment whatsoever.
Yeah. I played 1, not all of it.
Yeah.
First, like, 10th of it, probably.
Not the best one.
Really? The first one?
2 is pretty good. A lot of people like 2.
I think you like 2.
I like them all.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for hanging out with us at New York Comic Con.
Yeah.
Woo! This is probably a couple weeks after, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
It's fun. We like to do this once in a while. So we'll see you guys next week with an all-new episode. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
And I'm Ben.
Thanks a lot for watching.